Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Susanti with NPM 224111106 from class MBI Accounting 2020. Here I will explain the material about ownership structure. Definition of ownership structure. Ownership structure refers to distribution the ownership of shares in a company. It involves identifying who owns the company, whether individual, group, or institution. This structure can vary depending on the number of shareholders and the proportion of shares held. For instance, some company may have most of their shares owned by a single controlling shareholder, while others may have shares across many minority shareholders. A clear ownership structure is crucial for managing, controlling, and decision-making within a company, and it can impact the company long-term direction and strategy. Next, concentration of ownership. Concentration of ownership refers to how much of company share and are held by a small group or a single shareholder compared to the total share outstanding. In companies with high ownership concentration, control is typically in the hands of a few people or entities. This centralized control can lead to quicker decision-making, but it may also pose risks related to a lack of oversight or transparency. On the other hand, in companies with low ownership concentration, control is more distributed among many stakeholders, which can increase oversight and accountability, but may also lead to slower decision-making. Next, ownership mechanism. Ownership mechanism refers to the system and process used to manage and oversee the relationship between a company owner and its management. These mechanisms include the roles of various parties involved in the ownership structure, such as the board of commissioners, manager, and shareholder. One common ownership mechanism is the oversight provided by a board of commissioners and internal audit, ensuring the management act is the best interest of shareholder. Additionally, market forecast and information transparency serve as mechanisms to ensure the company stay on track and adheres to good governance principles. Next, OECD and the Limit Liability Company Law. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has guidelines on corporate governance aimed to enhancing transparency, accountability, and integrity in the company management. These OECD guidelines cover various aspects including ownership structure, oversight, and protection mechanisms for minority shareholders. In Indonesia, the Limited Liability Company Law regulates that ownership structure and the obligation of company toward their shareholder. The UUPT outlined the rights of shareholder, the procedure for holding general meeting of shareholder (GMS), and the responsibilities of company manager towards shareholder and other stakeholder. But regulation through at different levels share the same objective of promoting good governance practice. Okay, next ownership structure case in practice. Real world case provide clear insight into how ownership structure affect corporate governance. On your example is family-owned business, where control is typically concentrated within single family or a small group. While this can lead to more coordinated and quicker decision-making, it often creates challenges related to the company's sustainability, especially when there is change in generation or family conflict areas. On the other hand, companies with more dispersed ownership may face challenges in terms of efficient management because of disagreement among many shareholders. Several cases also show that highly concentrated ownership can lead to conflict of interest, where the largest shareholder might use their power for personal gain, harming minority shareholder. Influence of ownership structure and company performance. Ownership structure can affect company performance in various ways. In companies with high ownership concentration, the majority shareholder typically have more control over strategy decision. This can have a positive impact because major shareholders are often more focused on the long-term sustainability of the company. However, on the downside, excessive power the hands of a free can lead to decisions that benefits the stakeholder but are detrimental to the company minority shareholder. On the other hand, in company with more dispersed ownership sector, decision-making may be more democratic, but it can be slower or hampered by disagreement among shareholders. This could potentially affect innovation speed and the company responsiveness to market change. Therefore, it is important for company to balance the influence of major shareholder with the need for efficient decision-making to optimize performance. Okay, that's all the explanation for me. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.